Like most cards, the Rider-Waite deck came from the original playing cards, which had 52. The Rider-Waite has the 21 and 0 cards of the major arcana. That's what we call the major arcana. The rest are suits, just like from king to ace. And so they have very visual images. The major arcana, many metaphysical people believe, starts you on a path of enlightenment. Okay. The Emperor card, for instance, you can see the Aries symbology. He's wearing also his armor. He's kind of the guy in control of everything. Oftentimes he represents government, authority, that sort of a thing. He's not a card that a lot of spiritual people are always comfortable with, because that's the part of ourselves that we have to look at, oftentimes the dual part of ourselves. He is the ultimate in masculinity. The symbols here under deep meditation show there's the orange, which is the color of vitality. He's wearing the red, and he's sitting on concrete. So there's a concrete action to this card. The Death card, which is a card that everyone is often afraid of, has a symbology of everyone falling before death. He also carries a flag that has fertility involved. So from death, we also have regeneration. Just like the Emperor card, the Death card has a little bit of a bad rap because it's about transformation. People are very afraid of transformation, whether it be a physical death or a physical change. When this card comes out in the reading, I can guarantee you there's going to be changes. Okay, the Moon card, another fascinating card. As you can see, the creature below, which is a crab, symbolic of the moon and Cancer, is crawling up from the depths of the ocean through the enlightened path to the heights of the mountain. There's much Hebrew symbology in here. These little diamonds coming out of the moon are really yods, which is Hebraic information. As I said, Arthur Edward Waite, who designed these cards, was a great metaphysician and was quite possibly trained for many, many years in alchemy, symbology. So his colors are a light yellow, the pale yellow. He has all three phases of the moon. It's really a full moon, but then there's the face of the moon, and then there's the crescent of the moon. As you know, it has a 28-day cycle. And as we see, the crab, which represents feeling and intensity of Cancer, moves up the path to enlightenment, but only through feeling. You also have the wild wolf on one side and the domesticated dog on the other. This is the duality of man that we have to feel our way through to get to the highest aspiration. The Empress sits probably fully pregnant in a very wonderful vegetative garden, abundant trees everywhere. The 12 stars in her crown represent the astrology. You can actually see the Venus symbol on her shield. Now, if you put her and the Emperor next together, you see a very powerful duality of masculine and feminine. She being fertile, he being structure, solidity, and she being organic and in the garden. So there's a little bit of polarity there. When you lay out the cards in certain patterns, you can also assimilate more information. And the Priestess card, she sits within the temples. The B and the J stand for Boaz and Joachim, which are Hebrew words, and that means the dark and the light. Behind her are the pomegranates and the palms, which is fertility, but there's also some other magical symbology in that. The crescent moon at her feet, her gown goes into the waters of understanding. She holds the Torah in her lap. T-O-R-A. Rota, wheel, Tarot. When you bring the T back to itself again. So it's the wheel of life. She holds the secrets within her lap. There's so much symbology, we could be here forever. I suggest to all of my students to spend at least 1 week with each of the major cards, to study it, to meditate with it, and then they bring that back to class, and then we tweak what they've been getting in dreams. As I said before, it's important to have a teacher. On your own, it's very difficult. I have seen people open up without a teacher and sometimes go a little bit off the deep end. That doesn't always have to happen. There are enlightened beings who, from the moment they touch the cards, they just know. This is the star card, and it represents Aquarius. It's my very favorite card. It represents humanity, androgyny. The large pool of water here are the resources that we can pull from. The 5 streams coming out here are the 5 senses. So we always have a vast pool of knowledge to pull from. The stars in the sky represent the 7 sisters surrounding the sun. The symbology of this card, I believe, is talking about the new age that we're moving into. The little red bird is in the background. She represents the enlightened one.